can see how much he's just shoved down inside of him. He's just having to vent. Oh, nail his ass. Come on! Yes! Let's go, dude. Oh, man. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Josh. Welcome to the Drips Reacts channel. Glad to have you here. Thanks for joining us. We're going to be getting into Shippuden today, episodes 168 and 169. Man, last episodes, y'all had a little bit of everything. Confessions of love, sacrifice, pain from sacrifice, epic fights, insane animation, incredible animation with the soundtracks and the emotion around it, and ultimately some hope for Naruto when he is at his lowest here with Minato coming in. Man, so freaking good. Let's recap the character ratings. We gave MVP to Hinata and her confession of love. Really love the buildup of all that. Bethany was super surprised by the confession. She's like, wow, that's like the perfect place for a shinobi to confess her love. For the best moment, we gave that to Pain. First, the Nine Tails, so freaking sick. One of the best fight sequences I've ever seen in animation, or in anime in general. I compared it to Demon Slayer. Check out, kind of the way I talked about that in the review section last time. Skipped over funniest, and then for the Sacco, we gave it to those freaking pests, those bully kids bullying Hinata, and them just being little twerps, bro. But yeah, y'all, I am super interested on how Minato is going to come into the picture here, how he's going to talk to Naruto. Are we going to admit to Naruto that he's his father? I'm just super curious about, how this is going to turn around here, and I'm so excited that Minato is the one to kind of come into play here. So, but yeah, with that being said, I think we can go ahead and get into this reaction. If y'all enjoy them, drop a like, comment, all the good YouTube algorithm shit. I appreciate your support. It means a lot to me, and it means a lot that y'all are just spending some time with me. So let's go ahead and get into this reaction. Oh, smart, dude. Yeah, he admits to it. Bitter fuck. Dude, this must be so shocking to him. Did he miss the sun part, Naruto? He's in shock for sure. Oh. Get out of your Nine Tails. You're breaking this heartfelt moment. Yeah. Please. Yeah, I wonder why still. Yeah, for real. Man, you can see how much he's just shoved down inside of him. He's just having to vent. So many emotions. Naruto, 何歳になる? 16歳. そうか、もう16か。いろいろ大変だったんだよな、ナルト。すまなかった。息子のお前に辛い思いばかりさせてしまった俺が父親面して謝るのも違うかな。いいよ。もう4代目のおかげの息子なんだから我慢する。お前にキュービのチャクラを半分残して封印したのはこの力を使いこなすと信じていたからだ。俺の息子ならと。Yeah, he had faith in him. なぜわざわざそんなことをしたのかには理由がある。今から16年前、キュービが里を襲った時、分かったことがある。
何？
あの時キュービを操り里を襲わせた黒幕がいる。
黒幕？
かなりの力を持つ忍びだ。
The Madara.
特別な力がなければ到底太刀打ちできない。おそらくそいつはまた里を襲う。
So was Madara lying when he was talking to Sasuke? Because he said he wasn't behind it. Tachi said he was behind it, but he said he wasn't.
潰されちまったってばよ。
見てた。
Okay, so he's kind of alive within him.
見てたって。
ジライア先生のことも知ってるよ。
それじゃあ前にキュービを使って里を襲ったのは？
No.
いや違う、そいつじゃない。
誰だってばよ。
暁の一人、弁をしている男だ。
Ooh, so they're revealing it's Toby. There's more to him.
奴は俺の動きを全て見切った。ただものじゃないよ。おそらくペインはそいつに利用されているだけだ。
Yeah.
ペインはコノハに恨みを持ってた。昔同じように自分たちの里もやられたって。
その通りだ。だからそこを利用された。
利用されたって？あんな強いやつが？
Yeah, someone even stronger.
黒幕だっていう名の忍びまでなんでこんなにコノハばかりが狙われるんだ。
この世に忍びのシステムがある限り平和な秩序はないのかもしれない。ペインはお前に平和について問うたが答えを見つけるのは難しい。
お前なら平和を作るためこの憎しみとどう向き合う？
大切なものを救おうとすることで戦いが生まれ、愛が存在し続ける限り同時に憎しみが生まれ、
Interesting.
が利用される。この忍びのシステムがある限り憎しみという化け物はまた新たなペインを生み出していく。
I like that.
ペインだがよくよく考えればそのペインを生み出したこの忍びの世の無秩序が先生を殺したも同然なのさ。
Yeah.
忍びとはその憎しみとの戦いなんだ。どの忍びもその憎しみと戦っている。
Yeah, it's an individual battle too, right? It's not just the system, it's an individual battle.
答えをお前に託したんだ。
だからって俺はペインを許せねえ。許すことなんてできねえ。4代目教えてくれ。俺ってばどうしたらいい？
God, Minato's so badass, man.
探すんだ。
Yeah, you must.
俺にもわからないよ。
エロ仙人や4代目すら分かんなかったことが俺にできるわけねえだろ。みんな勝手すぎ
Because
る。
they've instilled their faith in you, man.
頭悪いしそんなにすげえ忍者じゃねえし。それに俺ってば。
お前ならその答えを見つけられる。俺はお前を信じて。
本当に俺にそんなこと。
どこまで行っても子供を信じてるのが親ってもんだからね。
Oh, I like that too.
さて、
So many good lines in here, man.
チャクラも薄れてきている。
Oh, that's so sad, dude.
封印を組み直す。だがこれで最後だ。木の葉はまだやり直せる。頼んだぞナルト。
ありがとう父ちゃん。
Yeah. Acknowledges him as his dad too. I love that man.
芝生転生から這い出てくるとはな。なんて力だ。こうなったらさらに大きな
Oh man.
消えた。
Oh, back in stage mode instantly. Let's go, dude.
迷いが消えたか。何があった。すでにキュービを制することができるというのか。
ナガト。
Damn, dude, he looks rough. Ooh, he's not able to control it anymore? Or is he letting it go on purpose?
キュービ化したせいでチャクラが乱れちまった。戦術チャクラをストックしてた影分身
Oh
が
shit, that's not good.
使える戦術チャクラは俺自身に残ってる分だけってことか。
He's on a time limit. That's epic shot, man. Naruto on all the rocks, with Pain looking up at him.
すでに仙人モードに入ったか。タフなやつだ。キュービの力どれほどか確認しておきたかったが、まさか千葉転生まで。
死ぬかと思いましたよ。これってあっちは里の方。あれは
Mind Tail, man.
キュービ化したナルト君がやりました。
もしかして日向や木の葉の
You
人たち
didn't kill Hinata, man.
生きてる。まだ日向のチャクラが感じられる。
Ooh, okay, good.
でもキュービ化したナルト君の攻撃で木の葉の人々に被害は出ていません。
That's good.
よくですが。
そうか。よかった。よかったってばよ。
Yeah, give yourself some slack, man. Some grace.
ナルト君
Definitely don't take responsibility over Hinata coming in. She chose that herself.
致命傷は避けている。でもすぐに治療しないと。
今医療忍者を探している。
ここまでとは。こちらにも怪我ガエルです。
Is he alive? Injured? Maybe? Means he's alive?
そろそろ決着をつけよう。少しは痛みを理解できたか。同じ痛みを知らなければ他人を本当には理解できない。そして理解をしたところで分かり合えるわけでもない。それが道理だ。お前がサスケを追いかけても無駄なようにな。
お前の本体のところへ俺を連れて行け。
Oh, man.
話したいことがある。
Ooh. I want to see Naruto and Nagato face to face. That sounds crazy, dude.
直接話したいことがある。
ほう。本体に気づいた。ジライア先生もお前たちも木の葉はなかなかやるものだ。だが
The ones who trained you, boy.
今さらお前が何を語っても何も変わらん。
とにかく話をさせろ。
千人モード。あの厄介なチャクラの手裏剣は2発までしか
Nasty chakra shuriken.
しかもそれで千人モードは消える。
やっぱ戦うしかねえみてえだな。
もしその2発の手裏剣を外したらお前の負けだ。お隙は与えない。外したら最後半殺しにして連れて行くだけだ。
なら仕方ねえ。本体は自分で探す。
Yeah, you're gonna have to force it.
考えがある。
Is he gonna try to feel the... Ooh, my god, dude. Dude, that's crazy smart. And you say you're not smart, Naruto. Ooh, that's cool.
千人モードで逆探知を。
見つけたぜ。
Oh, Pain, you're in trouble now, boy.
貴様。
影分身の術。よし、煙玉だ。おっ。
まずは一発目。神羅転生。
何？2発目を影手裏剣で放っていただと。
インターバルは5秒。これならいける。
Ooh, that's smart.
残り4秒。
あの時すでに影分身を仕込んでいたとはな。次の術発動まで3秒だが2発外したな。
It's already out of Sage too, dude.
何？
終わる。いっけー。
Yeah, you can use a lot more now that it doesn't have the standby clones doing the nature.
影分身を瓦礫に変化させて。
あと1。
This is just Naruto, man. Classic Naruto here.
せろ。
Oh. He just keeps them coming.
奥から影分身を。答えを持たぬお前ごときが諦めろ。
いつかは人が本当の意味で理解し合える時代が来ると。答えが見つからんかった時はその答えを。
I missed Jiraiya, dude.
お前ならその答えを見つけ
I've
られ
been
る。
listening to that one soundtrack that plays when Naruto finds out about Jiraiya's death. It's so good.
ノビは
Forgot what it's called though.
俺はそう信じてるからだ。耐えただと。
あの術は投げ飛ばせない5秒。この距離ならいける。
俺が諦めるの。
He's gonna launch him, yeah. Oh, nail his ass. Come on! Yes! Let's go, dude. Yeah. Sick, dude.
どうしてこんな無茶を。
Love, love. Love makes us do some wild things, man.
ひなた。あなた、ナルトのこと。
Yeah, more than you do, Sakura. You didn't go in there and profess your love and protect him.
自分で抑えた。今は最後のペイントの決着をつけるところです。
いい。俺たちはナルトの増援に向かうぞ。はい。
それはやめてください。
Really?
ナルト君の邪魔になります。
Even Guy, dude?
里をこんなにしたやつを相手にたった一人で。
I feel like Guy could keep up to a degree.
ここは彼を信じましょう。
Yeah.
螺旋岩。
Let's go, dude. Force Legacy coming in here with this Rasengan too. Yeah, dude. Oh, sick.
Nagato.
最後のペインが
Yes. So now we're gonna get like Konan versus Naruto? Like, is Konan gonna be the only one to protect Nagato, or can Nagato fight in that state at all? Does he have any abilities in that state?
ペインはこいつでチャクラを受け取って動いていた。
Ugh. All the liquid sounds. Ugh.
抜き取っちまえばこれでもう動けねえはずだ。
お前はお前の正義のために、俺は俺の正義のために。
Dude, all the justice talk in this really reminds me a lot of One Piece. One Piece has a lot of narrative on it, this kind of thing too.
他人を本当には
It's really interesting.
そして理解をしたところで分かり合えるわけでもない。
Experiencing all this pain again.
それが歴史だとし、とは決して理解し合うことのできない生き物だと悟らざるを得ない。忍びの世界が憎しみに支配されている。
行くんですか？
あ
なら今度は造園を。
あ、いやダメだ。一人で行く。
Alright, man. I'm like almost more nervous for this.
日向様
She lives. That makes me happy,
よか
man.
った。心配したよ。ありがとう。さくらさん、本当によかった。無茶するんだから。皆さん、ナルト君が6人目のペインを倒しました。
やっぱりナルト君ですね。
怪我はどうなんです？疲れ切っていますが大丈夫です。よかった。ナルト君、勝った。
で、ナルトはどこにいる？
ペイン本体のところへ単独で向かっています。
なんでそんな無謀なことを。俺たちも向かおう。
しかし、ナルト君は増援を望んではいません。
何？
ダメだ。でやりすぎだ。ナルトはかなり弱ってる。ナルトの場所まで案内してください。
I feel like it wouldn't hurt to have some backup, just like stand by at least, in case Naruto fails.
ナルトです。
Oh, they're right by him.
ナルト。
おっちゃんたち。
お前がここにいるってことは6人目のペインに勝ったってこと。
Maybe they could at least fight Konan.
勝ったとか負けたとかそんなの関係ねえよ。
何があった？
口ではうまく言えねえ。
うまく言えないとはどういうことだ？
とにかく俺ってばこれからペイン本体のところへ行く。みんな来ないでくれ。俺一人で生きて。
Just let him stand by, bro.
ナルト、ペイン本体の居場所を知ってるのか？
ああ、千人モードで見つけた。ペインの体から抜き取った黒い棒から奴のチャクラを感じたんだ。
なるほど。だが一人で行きたいなどと一体どうしたんだ？
確かめたいことがあるんだ。
確かめる？何をだ？
Ask about Madara, maybe?
ペイン本体と話がしたい。
何を勝手なことを言ってるんだ。お前がペインを倒したことには感謝している。
Time to try to understand, man.
どうこうする問題ではないぞ。
だったらペイン本体もその部下も敵の里も全て潰しちまえばそれで丸く収まんのか。
話し合ってどうすると言うんだ。奴はコノハを壊滅させた敵だぞ。許せるわけがないだろう。
俺だってそうだってばよ。この里を女を無茶苦茶にした奴なんか許せねえよ。
だったら
いのいち、ここはナルトの言う通り。
Dude, Shikamaru's dad is goated, bro. He's a fucking beast. Shikaku. I need to remember his name.
このはナルトだ。ナルトにはペインと話す資格がある。それにいつなりの考えがあってのことだろう。
しかし
いいから行かせてやろう。
ありがとな、四角のおっちゃん。
資格どうしてナルトを一人で行かせた？
息子だよ。
息子？
What did he say?
どこに行っていた？暗号部から連絡があったぞ。
どこって？ナルトに説教してきた。落ち込んでんじゃねえって。めんどくせえのに足が動いちまった。あいつはみんなにはない何かを持ってる。
何か？
いつかあいつはこの里にとって大切な忍び。
God, I love everyone's faith instilled in him.
俺はあいつと一緒に歩いて生きて。
Natural born leader, man.
めったに人を褒めないあいつがそこまで言うんだ。きっとナルトには何かあるんだと俺も信じたい。ここは ナルトに託してみよう。
Very strong theme in these episodes, faith. Yeah, this is good. He can get prepped up.
コナン下がれ。
ナガト、
いいんだ。
Oh, man.
お前はペインの本体か。
Yeah, it's kind of sad just seeing like how he's pushed his body to this extent.
この子やってきたか。俺が憎いか。
Of course.
先を目の前にし復讐を成し遂げたいだろう。憎しみの連鎖が始まる。俺はその憎しみの連鎖を止めるために暁を立ち上げた。
ナガトを今ここで殺し復讐をしたところで世の中は何も変わらない。
Mm-hmm.
お前の自己満足
この忍びのシステムがある限り、憎しみという化け物はまた新たなペインを生み出していく。忍びとはその憎しみとの戦いなんだ。どの忍びもその憎しみと戦っている。ジライア先生はこの憎しみを終わらせる答えをお前に託したんだ。
何も答えられなかったお前にできることはない。お前の役目は俺の作り出す平和のために犠牲になるというのが正解なのだ。
Yeah. Oh, come on. Just let himself get hit by it?
この近距離なら俺のチャクラでお前の動きを思いのまま操ることができる。安心しろ。急所は避けてある。大切な人中力だからな。
Ooh. No way. Is this the beginning of him like starting to kind of control the Nine Tails or like in some way?
どうしたのナガト。
Just trying to help him understand what he goes through.
いつわざと避けずに。
話をするつもりでここへ来たけど他に確かめたいこともあった。
確かめたいことだと。
自分の気持ちを確かめたかった。敵を目の前にしたら俺がどうするのか自分でもわからなかったからだ。
で、
やっぱてめえは許せねえ。今にも殺したくて震えが止まらねえ。そんなこの近距離でナガトのチャクラに抗うなんて。
Oh no.
こんなわしでもこの忍びの世に憎しみがはびこっているのはわかる。その憎しみをどうにかしたいとは思っとるんだが、どうしたらいいのかわしにもまだわからん。お前を弟子にしてよかったわい。
エロ仙人は本当の意味で理解し合える時代が来るって信じてるって言った。その話をしてくれた時俺は適当にしか聞いてなくって、あの答えを託すって言ってくれたのがただ弟子として認められたみたいで嬉しかっただけだった。今になってやっとエロ仙人の言ってた意味がわかる。そんな簡単なもん。
Yeah. You can see how much he's struggling with it.
言わないはずだ。綺麗事で許せるほど人の愛情は安くはない。
Ain't that the truth?
確か
It's
に
one to say something and it's one to feel it.
ジライア先生の言っていたことは時代遅れの理想主義だ。現実は違いすぎる。お前は俺を倒し忍びの世界を平和にしてやると言っていたはずだが、たとえそれが建前で己の自己満足のための復讐だとしても、俺がお前の正義ならそれでいい。お前は神じゃない。この現実を目の当たりにし、お前は本当にジライア先生のザレ言を
It's not silly, bro.
お前がエロ仙人の弟子だと分かった時としても聞いておきたいことができた。
なんだ。
エロ仙人の弟子だったお前たちがどうしてこうなっちまったのか。お前たちは今までの暁の奴らみてえにただ殺戮を楽しむ奴らじゃねえのは。
Yeah.
けど俺はお前たちのことを何も知らねえ。だから話を聞いてそれから答えを出したい。
Yeah, give them space to tell their story, understand their perspective.
俺たちの痛みを教えてやる。
Oh. So imagine we're gonna get some context next episode, man. Oh. Dude, this arc is so freaking good. Like, definitely a top tier arc in stories I've consumed, anime in general. Like, I just love all the narrative going on here. It's just so interesting. Pain as a villain, or Nagato as, I don't want to call him a villain, just an antagonist. just so good, so realistic to, I feel like, real life. It makes me so curious. Thanks for joining me on this, y'all. It's like, I feel like I don't know if I would have ever watched Naruto if I didn't start a reaction channel. Like, I think when I first started Naruto, or like when I was entering into starting Naruto, I kind of always had heard or kind of looked at like classic Naruto, and I always thought it was a little kiddish, but there's so many deep themes here, and I kind of actually felt similarly to One Piece when I got into it as well, that it felt very kiddish on the surface, kind of quirky, silly, goofy characters. One Piece is even more so that way, to be honest, but both these shows just have such amazing writing to relate to real life and the mature themes that we struggle with in life. And I just really appreciate both of these authors and the way they've done it. I know we're watching Naruto here, so I don't want to talk too much about One Piece, but it's just, I feel like kind of like blessed to have given it a shot. And having y'all along the way has obviously made it even more enjoyable, hearing y'all's perspectives on everything. So yeah, I'm just grateful to be at this point, man. It's so good. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and talk about these episodes for a little bit here in the review section. Great episode. Love the conversation with Minato and Naruto, with Naruto in pain. Naruto just reflecting on what pain is, his own feelings, his own emotions, and what it takes to break this cycle of hatred. Let's start with the conversation with Minato. I really love this part of these episodes. Was after the last set, I was looking so forward to seeing what this conversation would entail, understanding why Minato's there and everything. And let's just start with Naruto's reaction to learning that Minato's his father. Minato indeed does say that Naruto is his son, and I really love Naruto's reaction because I think it's really realistic. It's not just oh my gosh, I'm so happy, you're my father. There is that. He's like almost relieved and happy and whatnot, but then it breaks down into so much pain, so much difficult and negative emotion that he's experiencing. I really love this scene, especially where he's just kind of like venting and ranting, just going on and on and on about the difficulties and trials he had to face because of having the Nine Tail in him. People condemning him, being skeptical of him. He lived with so much, people just looking at him with hateful eyes, with mistrusting eyes. And I just think that's like so realistic. He's really struggling with, learning this news that it's his father, because he's like, yeah, he's been an absent father, and not just an absent father because he died, but also because he put Naruto in this situation. And maybe not for negative reasons from Minato's eyes, but definitely still results in a lot of negative consequences for someone like Naruto. And ultimately this breaks down to Naruto just being like, I don't know what to feel, I feel so much. And he has both positive and negative emotions just running through him, and that results in so much confusion. I just think it's so realistic. Outside the emotional part, we kind of get some rationalization from the fourth Hokage, or Minato here, about, one, how he, I guess, appears here. So when he built the seal, the Reaper Jutsu seal or whatever, he set it up so that if the, Eight Tails appeared, or, the seal was about to be broken, that he would appear with his chakra. And he even was able to see, I guess, some of the battle in the Leaf Village. He knew about Jiraiya dying. So I don't know to what extent he has seen through Naruto and his experiences, but it seems like it's not completely right. Like, he didn't know Naruto's age and whatnot. So, maybe there's no sense of time. Maybe he just gets flashes of information. But I thought that was really interesting, and obviously a lot of forethought from Minato in this case. But we also get rationalization about why he put the Nine Tail in him, or why everyone hid the fact that Naruto was the son of the fourth. Sarutobi knew this, but he never told anyone, and supposedly it would have been too dangerous for people to know. So I don't know why it'd be dangerous, right? Like, obviously there's a lot of political things going on within the Leaf, so maybe Danzo would be a threat to Naruto if he knew that he was the fourth son, or maybe even Madara, right? With, this other part of the piece here where, Minato says that there was somebody, a mastermind behind the Nine-Tail attack 16 years ago. And this conflicts with what Madara told Sasuke back when we learned the truth. And, I always kind of felt like there was, layers of lies within there, or half-truths or something. And he did tell Sasuke that Itachi was lying to him when he told Sasuke about Madara being the mastermind behind that attack. And so I think this is kind of confirming it. Now we've got Itachi saying that, Jiraiya saying that, and Minato. And I think we can confidently say that Madara was lying there, and that really adds in a whole nother layer to Itachi's backstory, especially, but Madara kind of being the crux that started this all, right? Because of that attack, it led to the Leaf Village, and I guess kind of the Sengu clan or whatever, that portion of it being mistrusting the Uchiha again. There seemed like there had been a lot of relationship building and trust being built after Madara was kind of outcasted out of the village and whatnot. But because of this attack, the Uchiha really started being mistrusted again. It kind of led to a cascade effect of, that mistrust leading to the Uchiha kind of trying to, have a coup, and then Itachi being put in this situation where he had to sacrifice himself for the Leaf Village and for, to avoid war and all these things. And so Madara is kind of the person who began this, it seems, with the conflict between the Leaf and Uchiha. I mean, maybe not the conflict, obviously that goes way back, but at least in the present day with Itachi and, the Uchiha and Sasuke's plot line kind of started this all off here. Outside of those two things, probably my favorite part of the conversation was around hate and pain, and just Naruto really pleading with his father and expressing how he's struggling to, overcome this hatred. Minato says that Madara, must have used pain or Nagato and his hatred for his own goals. And he kind of makes it clear that, as long as there's hatred, somebody will take advantage of that hatred, to use that hatred for their own, selfish reasons. And I think that's really realistic to real life. A lot of times the problem isn't necessarily that people have hate towards each other. Sometimes it's the fact that that hatred is used to kind of, make a narrative about a group of people or a nation, or kind of pin us against each other. I think politically, just in the US, right versus left, right? A lot of times I feel like politics is centered around very kind of the skewed sides of the spectrum where, they're important issues, but they're more of the really sensationalized issues that end up just making us not misunderstand the other side even more, versus kind of talking about the real practical problems that could be solved that would help everyone regardless of their side. And I feel like that happens a lot in modern era, and probably has happened all throughout human history. And I like too how Minato breaks down how hate, the cycle of hatred really begins, and it's kind of a natural thing, right? Because if you're, in order to save something, you'll sacrifice, right? Or you'll sacrifice or give up something out of love, right? So in this case, Hinata sacrificed herself out of love for Naruto, and that triggered hatred within Naruto for pain. And so it's kind of there can be no love without hate, and vice versa. It reminds me a lot of the whole light and darkness thing, right? If there can be no light without darkness, and vice versa. And I kind of the kind of the cyclical nature of this. So it's almost like hatred is part of just life in general. Yeah, you can't avoid hatred being part of the equation. And I don't think that, anybody should try to deny that, right? Part of maybe overcoming this cycle of hatred is accepting that, hey, we are all capable of feeling hatred. It's natural. It's part of the world we live in, the reality we live in, the genjutsu. But yeah, it's just natural, right? But the important part is, how do we break that cycle so that people don't take advantage of the hatred? I especially really like when Minato talks about, what it means to be a shinobi. To be a ninja is to confront hatred. Each and every one of us battles hatred. And so it's almost like it comes down to a personal thing, right? On a personal level, we all battle that natural hatred that we'll feel at times. And, what does it mean as an individual to overcome that? And it's so difficult. It's really difficult because, you see in Naruto, right? He's like, how can I possibly overcome this hate? I can't even forgive Pain himself, right? Like, I'm so angry at him. I'm so hateful towards him. How am I supposed to solve this cycle of hatred when I can't even forgive Pain? And Naruto's like on the right track because he needs to solve this for himself first. Just like Minato was saying, it's a personal battle. Nobody knows the grand picture answer. Like, Pain is kind of, being pragmatic and looking at the big picture. And he's like, okay, we just need to, deter people from wars and whatnot to avoid this pain cycle by inflicting pain on people, right? By inflicting pain on them, we can avoid the hatred by kind of making them conform to a standard that, I guess avoids war in the future. And I think one of the most pragmatic first steps that any of us can take is learning to understand our own pain first, because it is confusing at times to understand our own pain and why we are being hateful. It's really easy to just get lost in the hate itself. And I really love how the author writes it. In this case, Naruto, after kind of coming out of this, after he defeats the Tendo version of Pain, he stabs himself again with the rod, and we get flashes to so many different scenes. Jiraiya's death, Tsunade on the ground, the Leaf Village destroyed. There's one scene of at the end there were two people. I'm not sure who they are. I'm very curious about that. I kind of looked like Sakura, but the other person maybe looked like Itachi, so it didn't really make sense to me. But he's kind of like verifying his pain, feeling his pain, the pain that Nagato inflicted on him, and I think that's a way for him to get closer to it, to understand himself. And in turn, too, him going to Nagato to confront him, he even says himself, or Naruto says himself, that I wanted to verify and validate my own feelings, right? He's validating the way he feels. And that's a really important thing, is you don't just break the cycle of hatred by nonchalantly forgiving. You're like, whatever, right? You need to verify your feelings are true still, right? And you need to be able to forgive through love, transcending your hatred, not just by, nonchalantly forgiving. Pain says it himself, forgiveness is easy, love is not. And I think that's really crucial. And part of that, not nonchalantly forgiving people is taking your hatred and pain seriously. It's not, okay, hatred's bad. Yeah, no, push it down, just forgive, right? Don't just please people. It's, take it seriously. It's part of it. And, there's two avenues you can go from there. Obviously, you take it seriously and then you let the hate consume you, or you can transcend it in some way. And that's kind of Naruto's battle here. And we see that he is trying to really learn about pain. He does learn about Nagato. It's hard to say Nagato and pain when I'm talking about pain in general as as physical pain versus pain as a character. But anyways, he realizes that he doesn't really know much, but he does recognize that Nagato is different than the other Katsuki. The other Katsuki really just killed for fun. They were so gone that, they were just kind of evil. But Nagato, he has some kind of virtuous, way about going about solving this cycle. He does want peace. That's still a virtue. And maybe he's going about it in, not the best way, in a way that doesn't have a lot of faith in humanity. A lot of empathy for humanity, but he still is different than the Akatsuki. And Naruto realizes that he doesn't know his story. And, it comes down to understanding once again. It's how can I maybe forgive pain out of love here? And that might be to, what bridges that gap is that understanding. So he wants to know Nagato and Konan's story. And that's kind of where we're going to go from here, which I love. One other crucial theme here, and it's been a theme throughout Naruto as a whole, is faith. So much faith is talked about in these episodes, from Minato, telling his son that he believes in him. As his parent, he believes in him. he put the nine tail on him because he believes in him. He believes that Naruto can figure out how to end this cycle of hatred, even though himself and Jiraiya, who are excellent shinobi, cannot figure it out themselves. And Naruto's like insecure about that. He's like, how can I figure it out if you all couldn't? Why are you putting this on me? And he just tells him straight up, he's like, because we believe in you. We have utmost faith in you. And it's not just him and Jiraiya, it's Kakashi telling him he can surpass the fourth Hokage. It's Shikaku listen to Shikamaru about how Naruto just has something special about him that draws him to him like a natural leader. It's everybody just putting their faith in Naruto helps Naruto dispel his doubt. And I think that's really important when you're faced with really complex conflict in your life. You need people to support you to, help get you to a point where you are empowered to, do something difficult like Naruto is facing here. And this like mysterious power they speak of in Naruto really reminds me of the first arc of Shippuden with Lady Chiyo and Kakashi talking about the mysterious power that Naruto has to understand people, right? And to, I guess, bring people to him because he sees people, I think. He sees people for who they are and believes in them. He has faith in them. He's a really encouraging and positive person. He doesn't let people get kind of labeled like, Neji trying to label Hinata. He sees people and believes in them. And I think that faith that he has in other people helps others drop their own hatred to a degree, right? Like Chiyo, for example, had a perception of the Leaf Village and from her experiences. And at the end there, she drops that and believes in Naruto to be the best. He's going to be the best Hokage there'll ever be. And part of that is the understanding of pain. Him and Gaara's, recognition that they understand each other. That's what led to Chiyo kind of starting to have some inklings of belief that, maybe there's something more than just alliances or superficiality of nations alliances. It's like, hey, this like Leaf Shinobi truly cares about Gaara. And I think that's something that made her reflect a lot. And I think, I'm thinking right now that maybe that's what will help Naruto get closer to Nagato here too, right? And maybe even understand himself a bit better too as he hears his story. One small thing too I wanted to talk about outside of just the whole conceptual hatred cycle is when Naruto does confront Nagato, he purposefully lets himself get hit by the rod. And we see that Naruto is blending Sage Mode with the Nine-Tailed Chakra. I think it's the first time we've seen that. So is this the first sign that Naruto is starting to gain some control of the Nine-Tailed potentially? I don't know if there was a conversation with Minato that helped him get to that point or if we're just seeing this for the first time. Seems like that's the case. But also, I think something that's interesting there is that Nagato kind of like feels the Nine-Tails aura all around him. And I think some of that is to break Nagato's control of Naruto with Nagato's chakra. But also I'm curious if it's kind of supposed to symbolize that, Naruto's making Nagato feel his pain. He's making Nagato feel Naruto's pain with the Nine-Tail inside, making him understand what a Jinchuriki goes through. Nagato looks at Jinchurikis as useful tools, not as people. And maybe he's helping Nagato see him too at the same time. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and do the character ratings. For MVP, I'm going to give it to Naruto. I think it takes so much for him to try to work through his own pain, his own hatred here, and to, really try to overcome it and to take what Jiraiya and Minato have passed down to him with the utmost seriousness. He wants to just kill Nagato. Even when he gets there, he's consumed by it and he's really trying his best, but he remembers flashbacks to Jiraiya and trusting him with this. And he's really struggling with it. There's so much going on outside of him just protecting the village in general. He's on this separate conquest, this side conquest as well. He's getting down to the roots of it, even when Shikaku and Ino's father confront him and they want to follow him and Ino's father doesn't understand. He's like getting down to the roots of it. He's like, this, even if we defeat Nagato in pain and settle up with the Rain Village, it won't actually settle anything. This cycle will continue. And kind of speaking of that conversation, because I really like that conversation, I want to give a shout out to Shikaku, because it's another person who put his faith in Naruto here. He dispelled what Ino's father was saying. He's like, hey, like, you know, Naruto deserves to have this conversation. I had a conversation with Shikamaru, and I feel like we should trust him. We should have faith in him. And I feel like that's like a crucial moment for Naruto as a character too, because it's not just the current generation that's trusting him, or, you know, certain senseis like Kakashi and Jiraiya, like mentors. These are people who probably grew up potentially mistrusting Naruto, having that skeptical eye. And now their eyes are starting to change. They're starting to have faith in him. And I love that so much, man. Really good moment. For the best moment, the character with the best moment, I want to give it to Minato, the fourth Hokage, and the conversation with Naruto. I thought that was a beautiful scene in general, really heartwarming, but really grounded for, you know, the difficulty and the emotion for Naruto, getting some interesting lore about Madara to a degree here. Just so freaking good, man. And then we'll skip over the funniest and the Sako for these episodes. So, but yeah, yo, I am super freaking excited to see the backstory here. It seems like that's where we're going to go, I assume, for Naruto to try to understand Nagato and Konan's pain. Yeah, y'all, I can't say enough how great this arc is. I love the writing in this arc as a whole. I mean, this connects to all of the arcs of Shippuden, obviously, and even there's, you know, themes from classic Naruto that connect here. But yeah, it's so damn good. Let me know what y'all thought about this in the comments below. I appreciate y'all giving me your time to watch with me. It's great experiencing this with y'all. If you did enjoy it, drop a like, comment, subscribe to follow on for more. Check out the Patreon. We're 4 weeks ahead there. And yeah, I will catch you for the next episodes. Peace.